Hey, Steve Stine from GuitarZoom here. Thank you so much for joining me. What I want to talk about today is trying to learn how to strum the guitar without thinking about strumming patterns. Now, what I want to say first is that it's not that strumming patterns are bad, and it's not that you shouldn't learn strumming patterns, because you certainly should when you need them, okay? But what's really great is once you start kind of learning the basics of how strumming works, you can kind of learn how to strum what I call organically, which is just hitting and missing the strings whenever you choose and creating a rhythm that you like over the song you're going to play or with the musicians that you're playing with, or whether you're just playing alone, right? So the first thing we do is understand that when we create strumming patterns, what we're doing is we're memorizing a series of down and up strums that we're creating a pattern out of, something that we can repeat, right? So if I'm going down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, right? It's something that I can grasp onto and I can play over and over and over. The downside to strumming patterns sometimes is that when people learn how to play them, they tend to play the same patterns over and over and over everything that they play. So after a while, everything begins to sound a bit too robotic. So what we want to do is we want to try and break out of that a little bit. We might start with a strumming pattern, but then we're going to shift into something different as we keep going. So what I want you to think about here, let's just go back to the technique that I refer to as scratching, which is where we touch all strings, just lightly touch the strings. So we just get this scratching sound. And if we understand, if we break down really what we're doing here when we strum guitars, we're playing a series of downs with ups in between them. Right? And this is where we could build a strumming pattern. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, that sort of thing. But to do this organic style strumming without, memorizing a particular pattern or relying on patterns all the time, what we can learn how to do is just understand that the arm just perpetually moves back and forth as we strum. This is what it does. And you can notice right now, of course, I'm not strumming any of the strings. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to simply move into the strings and then move away. And then move in and move away. And what I'm trying to avoid is creating a specific pattern that my brain wants to gravitate to. Okay, now all this stuff is discussed. I have a guitar course called Strumming Made Easy, where we talk all about rhythm and developing strumming, good strumming habits, and making your strumming sound more authentic, all those sorts of things. So if you're looking for some help with strumming, please check it out. So we've got this movement in and out. So we're moving the arm back and forth. Then we start thinking about the fact that we could stay in a little longer, or we could move away from the strings quicker, right? So if I did something like this. So I can stay towards the strings longer. I can move away from the strings for longer periods of time. All those kind of things. So what we're thinking about here is variety. Okay? Sometimes what happens when we strum, especially when we first start really diving into rhythm, is that we have a tendency of strumming, students have a tendency of strumming too much. So you're just like, and it's all really loud and there's just a lot of strums. And again, I'm not saying there might not be appropriate times for that, but sometimes learning how to move away from the strings for a while and give yourself some space. Now you're noticing that I'm constantly moving my arm. I'm not going, because those always seemed like, a flash of lightning for me. It's just, all of a sudden it happens and you're not exactly sure whether it's, there's certainly no sequence to it. And the goal with rhythm is having something that creates a groove. Okay, so that idea right there, I'm going. But I don't want all those strums, so I'm going to move away from the strings. And what I want you to try and focus on as you're practicing this, okay, is the fact that you can start on a down, but please understand that you don't always have to. Sometimes starting on an upstroke, and not even sometimes, oftentimes, starting on an upstroke or an upstrum like this really gives you kind of a cool groove to the stuff that you're doing. Watch this. those. Okay, now again, I'm purposely not playing a strumming pattern, so as you're watching this, please understand that I'm not asking you to replicate what I'm doing. I want you to try and understand what it is and do it yourself, because what I'm staying away from is, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to create something different. You see, to try and keep everything sounding a little less predictable, and just keeping it more organic, more authentic is really what I'm looking for here. So again, if you like this video, please share it and see if we can help somebody else with their rhythm. And if you're interested, please take a look at Strumming Made Easy and see if that's something that might be able to help your guitar journey in learning how to do these kinds of strumming things. So take care, stay positive, and I'll talk to you soon.